this evening, kind of go through some of the things for our course selection for our students for this upcoming school year. So we should have any of our 9th graders through 11th graders, any of our families there with us. Mr. Truitt is going to record this and have it posted on our school webpage or our school YouTube channel. So if we need to come back and visit that, we definitely can. We're going to start this evening by having Ms. Lavinka kind of go through and give us a brief overview of everything that the students are going to be seeing through some different course selections. Then as we finish up with Ms. Lavinka tonight, Ms. Scott will come through and kind of discuss some of the things for our dual credit courses that will be pertaining more to our incoming juniors and our incoming seniors. So without further ado, Ms. Lavinka, we'll turn it over to you tonight.
Thank you, and thank you everybody for joining us tonight. I am just going to kind of give a brief overview. I will be sending out a grade level email to each family so that you have a point of reference. And if you miss something tonight, but it'll even have a little more detail that is grade level specific. So be looking for that. The first part, I guess I just want to talk about is the process that we're going to go through. We will start with having grade level meetings with students on Tuesday because we do not have, we have a student holiday on Monday. And so on Tuesday, we'll have grade level meetings where we will actually hand out the course selection sheets to your students. Those worksheets will need to be back by Friday the 19th, the end of the week. And I know that turnaround is not very long, but we also want to make sure that it's fresh on their minds and then we get them back. Once the course selection sheets come back, we'll take the next couple of weeks to actually get those entered into the system. And I'll be going into the classroom for each grade level. The students will use their Chromebooks to enter their course selections. I'll be there to answer any questions. So as you guys are looking at those course selection sheets with your students, feel free to write any questions you might have on the actual course selection sheet. Use it as a fluid document. I can try to answer those since we'll be in just classroom size audience. I can kind of work with the students through those. And then on the back of the course selection sheet will be some information that I really like the students to thinking about. It includes some college and career plans. And I know some of them may not really know what they want to do or where they may want to go to college, but it's important that we ask them and prompt them for this information every year so that they are thinking about that. And I would really encourage you not to accept the I don't know. So I always pose the question to the students as, if you had to choose today, what would it be? Just so that we have a starting point, and it's okay if they change. Based on what they're interested in as a career, that kind of drives our pathway for them and their endorsement. So that's why that piece is important. And then it'll ask for you to sign off on it. Again, make sure you put any questions that you have on there, and I can answer those questions as we go through. Some just reminders that as your students are making their course selections, those course selections do drive our master schedule. It determines how many sections of each class we need, how many sections of advanced versus regular courses. And so it's really important to choose carefully. We did implement an advanced course contract this past year. And that basically involves maintaining a grade of 80 or better. And then also one of the biggies for our students is that no late work is accepted in those classes. If for some reason a student signs up for an advanced course and then they become in violation of that advanced course contract and we end up doing a schedule change, they are not allowed the next year to be in an advanced class in that particular subject area. And so those are things that we'll kind of take a look at individually. Another reminder, when we're talking about high school, we work off a credit. So each course is worth 1 credit, and a credit is earned not just with a passing grade, but the attendance piece is very important. And so sometimes students forget that. So if they're, let's say, in English 2 and they make a passing grade, but they're not in attendance 90% of the time, they can actually lose credit for that course. And it is a course by course basis. So a student could go on to English 3 or could not go on to English 3, but could go on in their math sequence. So those are just some reminders that I think are really important for you freshmen or incoming ninth graders. It's important to remind your incoming students that their GPA and rank starts now. And the courses that are calculated into the GPA are their core classes, so math, science, history, and English, and then the foreign language component. So it is important that they are reminded of that. Their freshman year, so many times we get to senior year and they're looking back on their GPA and rank, and they're like, man, I wish I'd taken freshman year so much more seriously. So just encourage them to do the best that they can as they start, because it does start their academic transcript. Specific to ninth grade, the courses are pretty prescribed because we try to get their state graduation requirements out of the way. And so you're looking at English, English 1, so you have advanced or regular. For math, students that are currently in Algebra 1 will move to geometry. And it is important to remember that if your student takes 8th grade, that they are expected to take 4 math credits while in high school. So they end up usually with a STEM endorsement because they end up with 5 math credits. So they'll either take Algebra 1 or geometry, depending on what math they're currently in. And then world geography, biology, they have to have a PE credit, so either PE or athletics. They have to have a fine arts credit, so that could be art, theater, band, floral design. And then we do try to start their foreign language, so Spanish 1 for most students. If a student already earned Spanish 1 in the 8th grade, I know our St. Mary's students generally have earned their Spanish 1 credit, so they would go ahead and go into Spanish 2. And then their career pathway, which is their CTE course. And so that's usually a principal's class of some sort, be it ag, business, principles of biomed, engineering. There's a printing and imaging pathway as well. So, and those are all listed on the course selection sheets that will come home. For 10th grade, it looks very similar. Again, your 4 core, your foreign language, your CTE course, and then it opens up to electives. You know, if you've got a band kiddo and somebody that's in athletics, that usually fills those spots. Otherwise, this is where they have the opportunity to kind of branch out into something maybe that they're just interested in. And so those options start opening up once we get state graduation requirements taken care of. As a junior, again, your 4 core, your CTE pathway, and then you have the opportunity for 3 electives. Also as a junior, the opportunity arises for dual credit classes, which Ms. Scott will talk about in just a little bit. One thing that I want to make sure that you understand as your student, if they do go the dual credit route, remember it's dual credit for a reason. So there's an enrollment in West High School class and MCC. So if you make a change, it's important that we communicate on that piece, because any changes with MCC and that course has an impact on your high school schedule as well. The other piece, I know this always comes up, for our younger students, when our NHS inductions. And so our NHS inductions happen in the spring semester of junior year, and you must have a 4.0 or better in order to be inducted. And Ms. Sexton does a good job of getting those that paperwork out to the students who are eligible in the spring. So junior parents, be kind of looking for that throughout the spring semester. For our seniors, you have kind of 2 different options to get a short schedule, and most of our seniors look forward to that. So one way would be, and both of these, I guess I should back up, both of them are making sure that you're on track with credits, but then also that you have passed all state assessments. because both of those are required for graduation requirements. So the first way that a student could have a shortened schedule would be with parent permission. They could enroll in just 6 courses instead of 8. Most of the time that's being your 4 cores, your CTE pathway, and then one elective option. Also remember that your government and economics, that is 1 semester each for, so that fills one whole period, I guess you would say, throughout your school year. And then the other option is the work program, or what most people used to call the work program. The class itself is called Career Prep. And so the student would enroll in Career Prep plus 4 cores. So for a total of 5 classes. And with that requirement comes that they are employed and work at least a minimum of 15 hours per week. So I'm going to stop there and see if there are any questions. And like I said, I will follow up with key points in emails to grade levels. I'm not seeing any questions or hearing any questions. So, oh, here we go.
How come I can't hear?
Maybe not.
All right, for those of us that are new to this Zoom platform, if you have a question, you're welcome to put that into the chat, and then we can come back to you during the rest of this presentation this evening. Or if you'd like, you can email either Ms. Lavinka or myself or Ms. Scott at the high school. You can find our emails and shoot that to us. But if you can put it in there tonight, that'd be great, because now we can get that information out to everybody that's on with us. So Ms. Lavinka, thank you for that information. And also want to stress to everybody, you know, we still have our STAR tests that are coming in for all of our 8th graders that are coming up. We have our interim assessments and all of our different data points that we use for those courses. For our high school kids, you know, remember you have 3 of those STAR tests as a freshman, then 1 as a sophomore, then 1 as a junior. So there's a lot of those things that are still out there for us that we'll be taking a look at. So continue to work towards that. Now, as we kind of move through this, we'll pass it over to Ms. Scott. Let her talk a little bit about some of our dual credit classes. Ms. Scott, take it away, please.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me? Okay. All right. Yes, I want to talk to you about dual credit. And just before I start, though, I want to let you know that I will be sending out an email either tomorrow or for sure by Monday with a lot of this information, because it is overwhelming, and I know you want to sit and try to read and look at it. So first of all, the enrollment guidelines: students to participate in dual credit must be a junior or a senior. So we're talking about our, it'll be our 10th grade going to 11th grade, and of course 11th grade becoming seniors. So that's important to know. And then also the students have to meet testing requirements for college entrance. And I'm not going to get into that tonight, but more information on that to come. Several of our juniors that are already in dual credit, they're good to go unless they're taking a math class. Then we will have to look at some testing. Sophomores going into the junior class, they will need to be tested with a college entrance test, and it's the TSI-A2. It's a new test. It was formerly TSI. They just revamped it this last month in January. So more information on those testing requirements, I will let you know that. Just a reminder, like Ms. Lavinka said, dual credit is where a student receives college credit as well as high school credit for a course. So for example, let's say a junior wants to take History 1301 in the fall. Well, they will get high school credit as well as college credit for that one course. And that's important to know. It's hence dual credit. Also, MCC is real good about posting videos, making these short 2 to 4 minute videos that go over the dual credit process. And so I have a link that I will be emailing out when I do send that grade level email out to parents as well as students, because I want everyone to be able to see what dual credit is about, to make sure, you know, it's an opportunity to check into, definitely. The next thing, MCC is doing a high school pathways virtual information session coming up in the next couple of weeks where parents can, I'll send out a Zoom. Parents can click on the link and learn more about the dual credit process and see if it is something your child would be interested in, your student. The first one is going to take place next Thursday, February 18th, and it's only for 30 minutes. And then the second one will be the following week on February 22nd. So I will send out an email blast, like I said, to parents with these Zoom links for more information on that. The other thing, Ms. Lavinka mentioned, we will be meeting with students next week. On Tuesday, they will receive a dual credit packet or have the availability to pick up a dual credit packet. Looks something like this. It's just a brown envelope, and it's going to have a lot of different information in the packet. So I'm just going to briefly go over what the forms to look for. And I don't want to overwhelm you too much because it is a lot. But first, there'll be a parent guardian permission form to complete. That is purpose for MCC as well as us at the high school. There's a schedule request form to complete where they will indicate what classes or courses they want to take. There's an advising guidelines information sheet, and that sheet is very helpful to let you know if your student needs to be advised or not. Basically, our juniors or current juniors that are in dual credit, they for sure will be advised. And that advising is already next Thursday, the 18th, during the school day. Again, it will be held via Zoom during the school day with MCC dual credit representatives. Also, incoming seniors will find in their packet, their brown packet, a little half blue sheet, if you will. It's an advising form. Well, they will write down the classes that they are interested in taking, have that with them at the advising session when they meet with the dual credit representative from MCC. And, you know, it is helpful if the student knows where they want to go to college after they graduate and possibly even what they want to do. You know, major in. So that's very important if they can tell the advisor that. If not, it's okay. It's okay to be undecided. Finally, there's an application for tuition and fees exemption. Students that qualify for free reduced lunches can fill that form out. And just talking about the cost briefly, it's $77 a semester hour. Typically, a 3-hour course will cost $231. So just to kind of give you an idea on the cost. And some of this information is also in the videos I mentioned earlier, the YouTube link that I will be sharing with you. Also, there's a high school dual credit course list information sheet that lists basically what dual credit courses a junior or a senior can take, and then, you know, the equivalent of its high school course. So that sheet is also in the packet. And I like the last column we put on there because it basically gives you a suggested grade level for each of the courses. It'll say 11 or 12. So that will help the student as well. Finally, MCC does have a high school online enrollment portal. It started about a year ago, and it has been very useful. It helps the students can go online, especially those juniors when they go for advising on the 18th. They can go in, enter their classes. They will not have to do the parent piece because that has already been done. The parent consent is only done once during the high school career. So that will be good. Any sophomore that's going to be a junior that needs to be advised, and we will look at your sheets to make sure you get advised. And if it doesn't happen on the 18th, that's fine. We can do some individual advising in my office with MCC via Zoom. But basically, those sophomores that need to be advised, it's helpful to have that information so that they can go ahead and actually go into the portal while they're being advised, enter the information, and then the parent just has to do their piece of the portal enrollment. And all those instructions are in the packet as well. It's online, and they have simple steps. It's new and improved. They had a few hiccups a year ago, but they have worked out a lot of the kinks. So I think it'll be a lot smoother this go around. So the dual credit packet, this brown packet, they'll be handed out to interested students on Tuesday. If those could be turned back in, especially those juniors that are going to be advised, if they could get those back to school on Thursday, because we are going to be having, like I said, the advising. It's a quick turnaround, guys, and that's just kind of how things roll. We're ending a school year and then beginning another all at the same time. But turn those in. Actually, when they come to advising, they can give those to me. Any sophomore that is interested in dual credit, those can be turned into myself as well, or Miss Lavinka. Also, I know Coach Sulke is the history teacher for the sophomores. They can give those to him. He can also collect those if they're unable to get them to me. And then just a general announcement MCC put out yesterday in our little meeting with them. They said that the student deadline to complete the high school pathways portal, that online enrollment piece, we need to have that done by the end of March. March 25th is the date they have given us for that deadline. So Ms. Lavinka and I will be working close together with students, trying to figure out what courses they're going to take at the high school. And then for any of those incoming juniors or seniors, what dual credit courses they want to take. So I know that's a lot of information, but again, I will send an email out with information so that you can go through it at your leisure.
Thank you, Ms. Scott, for that information. For all of our parents tonight, I also wanted to have you encourage your students to keep up with their school emails. A lot of this information we will send not only to you, but to them. So each one of our students has a Gmail account. So that is something they need to be checking regularly for some of these updates. As we continue moving through this course selection process, you know, if you ever have questions, you can see in the chat that Ms. Lavinka has listed her email address. You can find hers as well on the school webpage, as well as Ms. Scott, where you could always pick up the phone and give us a call. We'd be happy to help you in any way that we could. If no one else has any other questions tonight, I want to ask Mr. Truitt if you have anything to add, Mr. Truitt, before we finalize.
I just want to thank everybody for being on the Zoom tonight. We set a goal to get course selection done in February this year, and I'm so grateful of the hard work of our high school team that's presented tonight to ensure that that goal is met. I think it's important for our kids and our parents to go into the summer knowing schedules and course selection and the different things that they're going to tackle for the next school year instead of getting that information late in the summer. Ms. Scott had emailed me earlier, and I just wanted to make sure that all of you knew, along with her dual credit announcement, that the school district will still be paying for the junior dual credit U.S. history courses and the senior level English dual credit courses. And so it's something that was important to our board to be able to support our families and our students with those hours, and where they didn't have to come at a cost, that it would be tuition free to our West ISD families. It's just a way for us to say thank you for your support, and also to encourage the kids to all take dual credit and not have the cost of the course as a barrier to having access to that college credit. And so we're excited to get to do that again next year. And this year it was a big success, and saw our numbers go up in those courses. So if you see a board member, please thank them for their commitment to our dual credit program and the students at West High School. But again, great turnout tonight, 59 on the Zoom on a busy night, a cold night. You know, as a treat for being on the Zoom tonight, I'm going to share with all of you something that's going to go out here shortly in the school messenger. Tomorrow is actually a day off for the students and staff. We're going to call school because of the weather and the concerns I have with getting to school safely. And so you get to hear that before anybody else does, because it's going to go out here shortly after the Zoom. So tell our kids to enjoy the day and to be safe, and to make sure that all of you are careful on the roads, because they're still going to be slick and dangerous. And so we're going to enjoy really a 4-day weekend if you think about it, because President's Day is also a student and staff holiday in West ISD. So enjoy that time with your kiddos, and please, please, please stay safe. And thank you for your flexibility today. It was challenging with the decisions we were making with the late start, and also trying to figure out how best to get the kids home, because a midday release today meant into the elements, and I think our hybrid plan worked well for everyone. So, Mr. Klander, anything else?
Well, Mr. Truitt, I think you made a lot of folks evening. I'm looking through the chat and seeing a lot of celebration going on. So thank you for those The good news, again, about the dual credit classes, because if you think about it for our families, that's about $1,000 worth of savings right there.
Glad to
But
do
also,
it.
also for that school day tomorrow. So I know we'll have an extra special Tuesday when we come back with that. So families, thank you for joining us tonight. Remember, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at any time via email or by phone. And without further ado, have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Go Trojans, Lady Trojans.